Hi everybody. 2 classes ago we were learning the imperative, which is the command form, and we looked at the verb faire and we talked about how you would form the imperative. And we said you would start with a conjugation in the present tense of the verb faire, and then we discovered that, oh goodness, there's no way we can't do it with the je form, we can't do it with the il form, we can only do it with the tu form, the nous form, and the vous form. But we would have to get rid of the personal pronouns, so we'd get rid of the tu, the nous, and the vous. So the only ones left are what we have. This one is left, this one is left, and this one is left. And what do we do next? We add an exclamation point. So for example, we would say, Bella, fais ton lit. Daniel, fais des sandwiches, etc. In today's class, we talked about how to make them negative. And the way we make them negative is just like you've always done, you put ne pas around the verb, okay? Yay, that's pretty cool. So look, we have Gabe, we'll start with Bella. We should yell at Bella. Never lose an opportunity to yell at Bella. Bella, fais ton lit. But if we want to make it negative, we locate the verb and we put ne pas on either side of the verb. So we have Bella, ne fais pas ton lit. Daniel, fais les sandwiches. And then we have Daniel, ne fais pas les sandwiches. Okay? Gabe, fais les courses. Gabe, ne fais pas les courses. Okay? So we're talking to Gabe. Okay? We're not saying Gabe does the shopping. That's why there's not a T here. We're not conjugating it for Gabe. We're talking to him. We're basically saying that. We're talking to him like tu. Okay? Gabe, fais les courses. Gabe, ne fais pas les courses. And then we have faisons les sandwiches. Let's make the sandwiches. Ne faisons pas les sandwiches. Let's not make the sandwiches. Faisons le lit. Ne faisons pas le lit. Faites les devoirs. Ne faites pas les devoirs. Okay? Faisons la fête. Ne faisons pas la fête. So, let's party. Let's not party. Faites la fête. Ne faites pas la fête. So party! Hey dudes, you should party. You guys party there. Party! Faites la fête! No, ne faites pas la fête. Okay? So now we also have the verb aller. Let me go like this so it's all on one page. We have this verb here. Let's make imperative commands with the verb aller. The first thing we got to do is say, well, we can't make an imperative command with the je form. We can't make an imperative command with the il form, and we cannot make the imperative command with the il plural form or the elle form, right? So we're left with tu vas, nous allons, vous allez. What's the next thing we do? Remember, what's the next thing we do? We get rid of tu, we get rid of nous, and we get rid of vous, right? And then we have that other cool thing we could do. Yeah, there we go. We go like this, exclamation point, va. Where is it you're going? Allons. Okay? But what we're actually going to do, I'm going to get an eraser. When we have va, when we have allons, we're never going to have it all alone. I suppose we could, but it's very rare. What we're going to do is we're going to say, vas-y, which means go ahead or go there. That I literally technically means there. We could have allons-y, which means go ahead or let's go. Okay? Allez-y, and you connect it with a hyphen. It's just a thing. No explanation for that. Allons-y means let's go or let's go there. Allez-y, let's go ahead, go there. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you something really special. You ready for the special thing? Say I have the verb aller. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I have the verb aller all by itself. Okay, let's see. And we're not going to use the I form. So we're going to say je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, and ils vont. Okay, so what are we going to do? How are we going to form imperative commands? Yep, you're right. We can't do it with that. We can't do it with that. We cannot do it with this one, right? So these ones are out of the picture. As a matter of fact, I feel like we should just get rid of them. Yay, they're gone. I don't want that line there. That's even worse. Tab, there we go. And we don't want these. So that was odd. Okay, so this is what we're left with. Remember, we're going to get rid of the tu. We're going to get rid of the nous. And we're going to get rid of the vous. Okay, so basically this means go, right? Now, here's a funny little thing. Actually, let's add an exclamation point. The point of what I'm trying to tell you right now is that there is something weird about verbs that end in er. Okay? Now we know that aller is an irregular verb. It's not an er verb, but it ends in er. For all the verbs that end in er, in the tu form, we have no s. Why? Just for pronunciation. Okay? So I'm going to show you in a minute what that's going to look like on all sorts of other verbs. Va, allons, aller. Now, some of you guys are going, but Sheila Reardon, you just did it with an S. As it turns out, if you have E afterward, you leave the S on. Why? For pronunciation. It would sound really awful to go va-i, va-i. It doesn't sound good. Vas-y sounds good. So let me show you, actually, let me finish this thought. The reason I taught you this long before, I don't know why that, oh, I know why that's there. Okay, the reason I taught you this before I told you the rule about the S is because you're going to hear vas-y 100 times more. That's not an exaggeration. I've done a mathematical test. I've crunched the numbers. You're going to hear vas-y 100 times more frequently than you will ever hear va. You're just never going to hear va. You'll hear vas-y. Okay, so now let me tell you what it is I'm really trying to explain. So here is the slideshow that you looked at the other day. We looked at looking at the verb prépare. So we have tu prépares, nous préparons, vous préparez. All right? And then we learned you get rid of the personal pronoun. You get rid of tu, nous, and vous. Okay, so it looks like this, except for, guess what? In my haste to prepare this wonderful slideshow for you, the verb, what's the verb? The verb is préparer. And préparer is an ER verb, right? Let me type it up here. Préparer is an ER verb. It ends in ER. So guess what? On that tu form, we're going to actually, I don't have the heart to just, I'm going to have to draw an X through it. We're going to lose the S, okay? So what it's going to look like, that's not going to help you, it's going to look like that. Prépare without an S. Préparons, préparer. Okay? So in the imperative, with a verb that ends in ER, like this, in an imperative command, the verb ends in ER. In the tu form, you're not going to have an S. Most of the time, you won't hear that. There are plenty of native speakers of French who would accidentally spell it with an S. It's like a there, or a your, or an it's thing in English, okay? But the rule is you don't have the S in the tu form, all right? So let's look at negative commands really quickly. We saw them just a minute ago. You put ne pas on either side of the verb, right? I need to get rid of the pencil. Okay, so we put ne pas on either side of the verb. So we have parle, mangeons, maigrir. Maigrir means lose weight. Étudier, study. Lave la vaisselle, wash the dishes. All we did was put ne pas on either side of the verb. Ne parle pas, ne mangeons pas, ne maigris pas, n'étudiez pas, ne lave pas la vaisselle. So here's the verb, lave. We put ne pas on either side of the verb, and then anything else comes afterward. So if I were to say, don't make your bed, I would say, actually, I'm going to say make your bed right here. I would say, fais ton lit, right? And if I want to say, let's see if I can move this. Yes, I can. If I want to say don't make your bed, I would say ne fais pas ton lit. Ne fais pas ton lit. I put ne pas on either side of the verb, and I left everything else afterward. Now, who is sitting there going, hang on a minute, why did you leave the S on fais ton lit? It's a two form. Oh, because the verb faire does not end in ER. That's why. Okay? Now, here's that verb we just looked at, that verb aller. So here's an expression, allons-y. It means let's go. Okay? Y refers to a place. You saw this in chapter 4. On va au restaurant? Oui. Allons-y. Yes, let's go there. Je peux aller à Disney? Oui. Vas-y. Okay, yes, go there or go ahead. Or if you're talking to two people, you say, oui, allez-y. Yes, go there. Remember, we learned that if va is followed by a Y, we leave the S there. Okay? The E and the expressions don't necessarily refer to a place. Allons-y can just mean let's go. Vas-y can just mean go ahead. Like, can I have one of your French fries? Sure, go ahead. Okay? And that's everything that I want to teach you today. Take care. Thank you for listening.